Some of my videos are going to start taking on more of a role of a campaign. I'm not a politician, I'm not a preacher, I'm not anything. I'm just someone that sees something coming, and I feel like I want to I've got to start communicating to you like a politician. And I would be a very odd politician if I were a politician, but just putting all that aside, I've got to start getting a hold of some of you, and I'm talking to like the fans of CentrePort, okay? Some of you are active, some of you are not. Thank you so much for the ones that are active. There's so much that I want to tell you about. There's so many things that we could be going over. There's so many things that we could be changing in our lives every single day. And the challenge that we're up against is that we do not have the people in order to accomplish it. That's all that's staying away. Resources, we don't need resources. We don't need anything. All we need are people. That's all we need. Now, if there's one principle that I've learned over the years, it's a principle of that the time to prepare for a storm is not during the storm. It is the time to prepare for the storm is the time before the storm. There's so many of you out there that you have no idea. I lay up awake at night thinking about ways how to help you. Why? Because I had to decide a long time ago, if I was going to be in this world, I was going to be here to serve or to help, because I wanted to help myself and no one was there. Even like this example here, finding a location. In a quote, you'll hear the videos about collaborative community. I encourage you to start listening to those. Look at the ideal of a collaborative community, because that's what we're becoming, if you like it or not. A collaborative community in a setting, we live in a city where I need to find a place to film. Who are you going to call? You have nowhere to call. But in a collaborative community, there is someone to call. I sometimes feel like jumping around, and I don't want to come across like a crazy person to you. But I feel like if society were a person, I would just like to I don't know what to do to wake them up. Most of the problems, it's like, well, who was it? Our president, one of our presidents, a long time ago, says these problems are man-made, and therefore they can be solved with man. And that is so true. I think that was John F. Kennedy. Of course, he got shot. You know, I mean, it's just there's so many great people in this world, and there's so many people that basically maybe were great people or could have been great people, but they chose a bad path because of society. They decided to retaliate rather than build something great. I wish I could give you the energy I have sometimes. I wish I could give you the ideal of what we can build. I feel I just want to rise you up and help you understand that we can build this. All we need to do is pull together. That's it. My family can think I'm crazy sometimes. My friends can think I'm crazy sometimes. But we need each other's help. I don't know how else to explain it. The time to prepare for a storm is not during a storm. There are things that are going to hit each one of our lives. Each one of our lives are going to be hit by catastrophe, by job loss, by everything imaginable. And we must put those things in place before it happens. I feel like, you know, you grab all these things from all these movies, you know, help me, help you. All these things come to mind. I'm not a politician. I don't know how to run a campaign. But if this were a campaign, I would beg my campaign manager to help me communicate to the people, because somehow they're not understanding. They're not understanding that storms are coming in their lives, that storms are hitting people's lives, and we can do far more together than we ever can apart. So, where do we stand? Everything would campaign around CentrePort. I might not know many things, but I do know this. I do know how to build an online city. And if I have to take this worldwide to a campaign level and to recruit people worldwide to run a campaign, to build this city, that is what we're going to do. Because it could change millions of people's lives. Millions of people that are out of work today could be working today. Let me explain to you just sometimes the ideal, what we could do. In an online city setting, we could literally employ people 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Let me tell you an idea of a business model that possibly could work. And this is just an idea. This is one of the solutions that we could do. There are things that exist like CMSs and SharePoint and everything, and I know how to build some things on these platforms, and especially SharePoint. Now there are some roadblocks that stand in our way, but we together can break through these roadblocks. Together, apart, we will not be able to do it, but together we can overcome these roadblocks. We can do it together. So many things come to mind, and I just wish I was a trained speaker. I wish I was a great leader, but I'm not any of those. I'm just someone with enough passion to build this thing, but without the people to do it. We have a plan. We know how to do it. So the business model would be simple. Possibly we could go to a non-for-profit model. We would sell portals to people. That money, portals, meaning a portal where they manage all their information, which we have already a solution for that we've been building for 15, 20 years, but now we're ready to build it because the technology exists. So the simple model would be this. They would purchase a portal for, let's say, I don't know, $365 a year. That money then would be invested into paying people that are unemployed to be able to build out the city more and build out the components. So, and if people want to sponsor work, then they can pay the money as the city makes money. It will pay back the people in residuals of the products that are being produced by the city. Okay, if you don't understand this idea, go back to the days of the Depression. Okay, it was way before my time, but from what I understand, during a time that many people were out of work, the government put together a thing where a lot of public works. There were public works. Look, that's all we're doing here. We're creating a public project that we can all do and we can all be employed by. You step up to the plate, I'll find us the funds to do it. If I have to campaign across every state in the union, across every country, we can build CentrePort. We can build CentrePort. Get the vision. And someone asked recently, and I'm sorry that I don't have time to answer all these questions. There are so many things that I'm trying to solve myself that if we were together, we wouldn't have to solve. It wouldn't be so difficult. And one of those things is it cloud computing? Absolutely, it's cloud computing, but you have to start watching collaborative communities and R3 model. We're taking the R3 model, we're taking a collaborative community concept, using the R3 model, and we're building CentrePort, an online city. It will be like an online city never done. It is able to function at a higher level than anything ever existed. And you know what? I'm so tired of people not believing in things just because it doesn't yet exist. Listen, I don't know how to end these things sometimes. One thing is, this is a fact. The time to build, the time to prepare for a storm is not when the storm hits. It is before the storm hits. It is now that we build, before the storm hits. I've got to get some of you awake out there to start building the city before the city's needed to the extent that it's needed. Before you guys lose your jobs, before you guys are in nursing homes and have nowhere to turn or whatever and have no work, before those times hit, it's now that we build. It's now that the children can build, the adults can build, all of us. We can come together and build a collaborative community that's never yet existed, named CentrePort, an online cloud computing machine that is able to employ half the world's population. I don't care if you don't believe it's possible. Look, let's put that aside. Maybe that sounds too over the top for you, okay? And that's fine, too over the top. But one thing's for sure, if there's just 2 of us, if there's just 5 of us, then let's us build the city. Just 5. Just 5 of us. Let us get 5 of us together and let us build this city. Let's build this thing. It's not one portal at a time. That's what we're building. One portal at a time. But I need you, keep asking the questions, because that's what, you're doing your job. The people that are in CentrePort, they're asking questions. I am frustrated sometimes with the people that don't ask questions, my family and friends that know me better than anybody. And the people that wrote me from Chesterton, Indiana. Thank you for the feedback. I'm sorry that I haven't had the time to write each one of you back. But I want you to know I'm here to serve you in ways that you can't even comprehend. We have a plan. We know how to build this thing. Keep asking the questions, and I will lay down a format that we can build, and I see it so clear. It can be built overnight practically if we had enough people. but it's not going to be built overnight because we just have a few. But let's make the few more. Let's see who's on board with me on this. I need you, and you need me. Whether you admit it or not, I need you, you need me. We can do far more together as a community than we ever can as individuals. That's what we're about. CentrePort, online, facilitating collaboration worldwide if we have to. We can, when do I stop? Look, the time to prepare for the storm is not when the storm hits. We need to build now. Thank you. Build now. Build CentrePort now. Thank you.